Peggy 18.
Dead Island 2 is one of the most anticipated games of the year, and for good reason. With a long development cycle and a legacy to uphold, expectations are high for the sequel to the cult classic Dead Island. In this video, we'll take a look at the first impressions of the game and then dive deep into the review to see how it stacks up. First impressions. The first thing that struck me about Dead Island 2 was the visual presentation. The game looks absolutely gorgeous on both the current and next-gen consoles. The world is vibrant and colorful, with plenty of detail in every nook and cranny. The character models are also incredibly detailed, with realistic animations and facial expressions. Gameplay-wise, Dead Island 2 builds on the solid foundation of its predecessor. The combat is fast-paced and satisfying, with a variety of weapons and abilities to choose from. The game also introduces some new mechanics, such as the ability to slide and dodge, which adds a new layer of depth to the gameplay. The zombies themselves are also more varied and challenging, with different types requiring different tactics to take down. One of the most interesting aspects of Dead Island 2 is the setting. Unlike the tropical island of the first game, Dead Island 2 takes place in sunny California. The game does a great job of capturing the vibe of the West Coast, with plenty of palm trees, beaches, and surfers. However, this setting also adds a new layer of danger, as the zombies are able to survive in the hot and dry climate, making them even more of a threat. Overall, my first impressions of Dead Island 2 were very positive. The game looks great, plays well, and has a unique setting that sets it apart from other zombie games. Review. Now let's dive into the review and see how Dead Island 2 holds up over the long term. Story. The story of Dead Island 2 is serviceable, but not particularly memorable. You play as a survivor of the zombie outbreak in California, tasked with finding a way to escape the state and survive against the hordes of undead. Along the way, you'll encounter a variety of characters with their own agendas, but the plot never really reaches the heights of the first game. Gameplay. The gameplay of Dead Island 2 is where the game really shines. As mentioned earlier, the combat is fast-paced and satisfying, with a variety of weapons and abilities to choose from. The game also introduces some new mechanics, such as the ability to slide and dodge, which adds a new layer of depth to the gameplay. The zombies themselves are also more varied and challenging, with different types requiring different tactics to take down. The game also features a crafting system, allowing you to create and modify weapons to suit your playstyle. This adds a great deal of replayability to the game, as you can experiment with different combinations of weapons and upgrades. Presentation. As I mentioned earlier, the presentation of Dead Island 2 is top-notch. The game looks absolutely gorgeous, with a vibrant and colorful world that is full of detail. The character models are also incredibly detailed, with realistic animations and facial expressions. The sound design is also excellent, with a great soundtrack and plenty of atmospheric sound effects. The zombies themselves sound suitably gruesome, and the voice acting is generally good. Overall, Dead Island 2 is a solid sequel that builds on the strengths of its predecessor. The gameplay is fast-paced and satisfying, with a variety of weapons and abilities to choose from. The game also looks and sounds fantastic, with a unique setting that sets it apart from other zombie games. While the story could have been stronger, the gameplay more than makes up for it. Average scores. The review embargo for Dead Island 2 was lifted on Tuesday, 18th, and the first press notes are starting to appear on Metacritic. It seems that the game is dividing opinions. At the time of writing this article, the game, PS5 version, has an average score of 75 on the site, based on 46 reviews. Of this number, 27 are considered positive and 19 mixed. Check them all out below. Finger Guns, 90. Attack of the Fanboy, 90. The Games Machine, 90. Dual Shockers, 86. PlayStation Universe, 85. God is a Geek, 85. COG Connected, 84. Player 2, 83. Daily Star, 80. Eurogamer Poland, 80. JoexVideo.com, 80. Games.cz, 80. GRYOnline.pl, 80. Gaming Bolt, 80. Xfinity, 80. Games Hub, 80. IGN Adria, 80. IGN Spain, 80. PlaySense, 80. PSX Brazil, 80. Screen Rant, 80. Twinfinite, 80. VGC, 80. Carol Quinton, 80. Game Informer, 78. IGN Italy, 78. Destructoid, 75. EveryEye.it, 73. The Gamer, 70. Games Radar Plus, 70. Metro Game Central, 70. IGN, 70. Push Square, 70. Game Pressure, 70. Game Watcher, 70. The Loadout, 70. Video Gamer, 70. Well Played, 70. CD Action, 70. Telegraph, 60. NME, 60. Digital Trends, 60. Gamer.no, 60. Gaming Bible, 60. Hey Poor Player, 60. Noisy Pixel, 60. Thank you for reading this article about the first reviews of Dead Island 2. We hope that the information provided here has been useful in helping you to form your own opinion about the game. If you have any thoughts or comments on the matter, please feel free to share them with us. Once again, thank you for your time and interest in our content.